I want to pause for a moment so we can get some first-hand perspective on how to defend a case such as this. Robert Nye was defense attorney for Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh, and he joins us now from Tulsa. Thank you, Mr. Nye. I was just talking to Jeffrey Toobin about the whole issue of the death penalty. Isn't it true that if a jury is looking at that possibility, that it could clearly affect the way it deliberates?
Certainly. It gives an entirely different complexion to the whole case. It seems very early to be talking about the death penalty. We haven't even sorted through the facts yet.
All right, well, let's get to the whole idea that this is a case in which we can venture to say the public opinion is against these two suspects. And in fact, the shootings have stopped. So, the public may very well indeed believe that these two men are guilty. How do you defend someone who has this kind of force running against him?
You have to concentrate on the process and insist that the process be fair and that we have a real trial instead of a formality. And I think that there are two areas that you can concentrate on in the beginning. The first is the passage of time. We need to allow our fact-finding to be based upon reason and common sense instead of emotion. And we need some time to pass before there's a trial. And then the second issue is the place where the case is tried.
But Rob, you're talking about states like Virginia and Maryland that are small. I mean, you got the McVeigh case moved from Oklahoma City all the way to Denver. Where are you going to go in Maryland?
Your point is unquestionably true. And for that reason, I think that you have to rely first upon the passage of time in an effort to make the system have a chance of being fair.
How much time do you think is fair?
At a minimum, a year, but greater time than that, I think, is appropriate in this case. First, because of all the defense investigation that's going to have to be conducted, but secondly, to allow some of our wounds to heal and to allow some of the emotion to dissipate and some of the preconceived ideas to go away.
Mr. Nye, what advice would you give the two defense attorneys in this case beyond the entire question of change of venue?
That's difficult from the outside looking in, and the attorneys that have the job of representing either one of these individuals will, of course, be in the best position to make the right decisions. But from a distance, I think that anyone would say that what we all have to focus upon is the fundamentals of the process and what we hope that our system is about. And we hope that it's about, and if we can all keep our eye on that ball, then we're all going to win.
And back to the original question that I asked, the very first one, since we were jumping ahead, can you tell us if indeed, and these two suspects, or one faces the possibility, if he did indeed if he is found guilty and faces the death penalty, how does that affect the jury?
Well, the potential jurors will have to examine what they really believe about the death penalty. I think that most of us, when we think about the death penalty, think about it in abstract terms without having to consider, if we were a juror on a case, whether we could impose it. And I think that our ideas about the death penalty have changed dramatically in the recent past. We know that innocent people have been convicted and probably executed. And we know that we make mistakes. And we know that there's racial disparity in the death penalty. And that has caused a lot of us to re-examine our beliefs. And the potential jurors in this case are going to have to do that on a very personal and realistic level. And that's one consideration that they're going to face from the very beginning, if it's a death penalty case.
Robert Nye, thank you, and Jeffrey Toobin, as always, thank you.